I wanted to take just a few minutes and talk to you about this semester and the things that we're going to be reading about. Well, this course is a literature course, and we are going to talk about all of the literary elements of the works, whether that be setting, plot, character, conflict, the writer's intentions, whatever the case may be there. Well, we will be doing that. These works that we're going to read often focus on pretty sensitive topics in relation to ethnicity, race, religion, personal creed, sexuality, and any number of other very specific topics. As such, I wanted to remind you the need to respect opinions and to show kindness and respect to your classmates. One of the things we'll be using this semester are the PJI, the Peace and Justice Institute's principles for how we treat each other. And these are just some good guidelines for how to approach this course in a way that is respectful and that builds community rather than create division. Because currently we have too much division in society, and I don't want this to be another place that's like that. So here are a few of the principles, or here are the principles for how we treat each other. Number one, create a hospitable and accountable community. Here's what it says. We all arrive in isolation and need the generosity of friendly welcomes. Bring all of yourself to the work in this community. Welcome others to this place and this work, and presume that you are welcomed as well. Hospitality is the essence of restoring community. So in this course, we want to be hospitable. We want to welcome each other. And we want to have an accountable community. Number two, listen deeply. Listen intently to what is said. Listen to the feelings beneath the words. Strive to achieve a balance between listening and reflecting, speaking and acting. So this course is online, and you won't necessarily be doing a ton of speaking directly to each other. You will be reading each other's words, and that can often be even more difficult than listening carefully, because we don't always know what the person behind the screen with the keyboard is exactly saying. So we want to make sure that we are thinking about the words we're putting on the screen before we put those words out there. We want to make sure that we are being reflective and making decisions with our words that are intentional. Number three, we're going to create an advice-free zone. We want to replace advice with curiosity as we work together for peace and justice. Each of us is here to discover our own truths. We are not here to set someone else straight, to fix what we perceived as broken in another member of the group. So while it can be tempting to try to correct others, that's not the goal here. Now, if someone's saying something that's directly hateful or something to that effect, obviously I will reach out to that person and address that, and we won't stand for that in this class. It's also not our job to fix maybe systemic or societal problems with our advice. We want to be mindful of what we're saying. We're not trying to solve the world's problems so much as to understand the world that we're in, and then individually move forward as best we can to make the world better. Number four, practice asking honest and open questions. A great question is ambiguous, personal, and provokes anxiety. Now, to be clear, we don't want you all to be anxious all the time, but it's okay if some of the questions that you're being asked in discussion boards or during we'll have the opportunity for Zoom discussions for the content in the course as well. It's okay if it makes you feel uncomfortable. We're not talking about things that make people comfortable, and that's okay. It's not a bad place to be in. It just means that we need to really be thinking about those questions and reflecting on why they make us feel the way they do. Number five, give space for unpopular answers. Answer questions honestly, even if the answer seems unpopular. Be present to listen, not debate, correct, or interpret. Here's the thing. This course is not meant for friendly debate or unfriendly debate about the topics. If there's a question that's asked that is personal and it's about your experience or your worldview, it's not our job to tell someone that they're wrong or that they're not going with what what we think they should be saying. So it's important that when someone puts something out there that maybe doesn't fit with what a majority of people are saying or what you think, it doesn't mean that it's okay for you to debate, correct, or interpret. We're here to listen and to try to understand different people's stories. We also want to respect silence. Silence is a rare gift in our busy world. After someone has spoken, take time to reflect without immediately filling the space with words. This applies to the speaker as well. Be comfortable leaving your words to resound in the silence without refining or elaborating on what you've said. If we're in a Zoom meeting, this would apply there. Obviously, if you're working in a written discussion board, this won't apply as much, but this does open up the opportunity for when you read something and maybe it hits you in a way that makes you uncomfortable. Maybe it upsets you. Maybe it makes you question yourself. It's okay to sit in that for a few minutes before you feel it necessary to respond. And in fact, you might decide you don't even want to respond at all, and that's okay. Obviously, you have to meet the requirements of the assignment, but maybe it's not that person's post you respond to. Number 7, suspend judgment. Set aside your judgments. By creating a space between judgments and reactions, we can listen to the other and to ourselves more fully. This is not a place where we are going to judge each other. I know that judging is a very human condition. It's something we almost do naturally, but we want to try to suspend judgment here. We want to be a place where people can be honest with themselves and with each other, and that can't happen if everybody's sitting around judging each other. Number 9, speak your truth. You are invited to say what's in your heart, trusting that your voice will be yourself. Using the first person I rather than you or everyone clearly communicates the personal nature of your expression. That's one thing that we need to work on as a group. If you are in your discussion board or in a Zoom meeting, providing your commentary on something, you should be using I or my experience. You're not going to say we or you or everyone, because then you're taking your truth out of it and trying to make it everyone's truth, and it's not everyone's truth necessarily, although many of us may agree with you. So we're going to practice saying I, my truth, my story, me, rather than we, and things of that nature. When things get difficult, turn to wonder. If you find yourself disagreeing with another, becoming judgmental, or shutting down in defense, try turning to wonder. I wonder what brought her to this place. I wonder what my reaction teaches me. I wonder what he's feeling right now. Sometimes you're going to have classmates who are going to post things that maybe hit you the wrong way. Maybe they are going to challenge your beliefs. Rather than responding in anger or judgment or defense, think about that. Sit for a moment and think, why is it that I feel this way? What happened to this person that they feel that way? Trying to understand each other and understand ourselves, using reflection as a piece of this is really going to be important to make sure that everyone in this environment and our community is getting something meaningful out of this. Again, we don't want to turn to being defensive and judgmental. Number 11, practice slowing down. Simply the speed of modern life can cause violent damage to the soul. By intentionally practicing slowing down, we strengthen our ability to extend nonviolence to others and to ourselves. 12, all voices have value. Hold these moments when a person speaks as precious, because these are the moments when a person is willing to stand for something, trust the group, and offer something they can see that they see as valuable. This is really important. We have to understand that everyone in this course is important. Each of us have voices that I want to be empowered, and that's why it's so important that we turn to wonder when we maybe want to turn to defense or judgment. It's why we suspend judgment. It's why we let the silence sit rather than filling the room, because each of us have important things to say. We have different experiences, and we can each learn from the other if we're willing to listen to those different voices. 13, maintain confidentiality. Create a safe space by respecting the confidential nature and content of discussion held in the group. Allow what is said in the group to remain there. One of the things about the principles working well, particularly in a course where we're going to be talking about people's different personal experiences, is that we maintain some level of confidentiality. We want to make this place a place where people feel comfortable expressing themselves. We all learn more when everyone's engaged. So I really want to challenge you to consider these principles and try to keep them in mind as you are moving forward this semester. I'm looking so forward to working with you. We're going to be tackling a lot of interesting but challenging and uncomfortable topics. And I want you to know I'm always here to help you however I can this semester. Please reach out to me if at any point you feel like something's going sideways. I don't know if there's a problem if you don't let me know there's a problem. I can't wait to get to know each of you better.